Hey everybody, thanks again for coming back to watch us play role-playing games. We are Occultists Anonymous. We play many things. Right now we're on session 2 of our Numenera campaign in the Cypher system made by Monty Cook Games, a system I'm incredibly fond of. It's a tremendous delight and privilege to be able to play games and have people watch and interact with us. And as you all likely know, if you aren't first-time watchers or subscribers, we like to call out to the people who so kindly support us through Patreon. But in addition to their support, we get support from Roll20. We very much like that. And from all the people we know in life. So, without further ado, those people who are so generous are Adele, Ethan Alice the Mad, Al, Alexander Williams, Alzerit. Benjamin is an awesome name, I swear. It is indeed an awesome name. Bernie, Buck Gregory, Chris Hanforth, and Forth. Deeper, Doc, Emil, Fuse82, George, James Winfield, Jason Vines, John Fitzgerald, John Hall, Josh Drew, Camo, Cat Feathers, Klaus, Long Live the Queen, Melissa, Michael, Milo V3, Ms. Grumpy, Moku, Mozart D minor, Other Guy, Perry, Foog, Porter, Puppeteer, Riafio, Ryan, John Kelleher, Exara, Taryn Stevens, The Cha-Cha Schism, Thomas Vogel, Toast, Vortex Falcon 00, Why Gender When You Can Serve the Iron Pyramid, and Zoltan Kameni. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
I would like
to unpack in that name.
I know.
There's a lot to unpack in that name.
Oh, yeah. Hey, it's great. I would like to remind you all that if you want me to read something weird or funny, right, in a particular voice, you can send a message ahead of time. You can edit the names, or you can surprise me. It's entirely up to you.
Oh, honey.
I'll put the
Don't
microphone
encourage
in
this
my
behavior,
mouth while I
Ralph.
do it, whatever you want to do. Well, hey, Perry said don't threaten people with a good time, so I won't threaten. I'll promise a good time. I think that's the way to do it.
We'll say whatever you want in whatever voice you ask.
Yes, exactly. That's right.
Don't get us
I'll
kicked
bring
off
back that
Twitch,
stupid
please.
Cockney accent from Blaze in the Dark if you want to.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
All right. So with that done, thanks everyone. Really excited to play. Our last session involved some hijinks of a kind that I would love to hear one of you describe in a recap for people, or I'm happy to do that if you'd prefer.
There was something about a cyberarm, and I still haven't got my hands on it. I'm just saying, like, at some point or another, Reuven just needs to pass it over. Just like, just saying, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're helping the dog find a priest.
Yeah.
A talking dog.
Or the
okay.
dog is a priest.
The dog might be a priest.
It
Yeah,
definitely
what's going
sounds
on?
like the dog
That's
is
the
not a
working theory.
priest.
The dog
That's
is a priest.
That is the working theory for one of our members.
Well, to be fair, that member is the one with formal education in
True.
the Aeon Priests.
Mhm.
So, who are you going to believe?
I'm something of an authority on this matter, okay?
Exactly.
And by this matter, I mean dogs.
Yeah, and technically, I should clarify. It's not a talking dog. It's a dog with a collar that translates. I guess
The
thoughts.
translates dog.
Yeah, that thoughts into speech, because I don't think it's necessarily barking and speaking at the same time.
Yeah, so that's right. So we were messing with the dog. There's a cybernetic arm. So the last session started with you all at Hakon's Bazaar, this 1-year event on the eve of Syrio's conjunction. You were watching it, doing cool stuff. This place is known as the Pickpockets Olympics. Our great Jack was successful in nabbing something from someone distracted while you're all watching this parade. During the parade, a giant gray dog leapt out from a pack of people and ripped the cybernetic arm off of Hakon, the proprietor of the bazaar. You chased the dog through the bazaar. Reuven was successful in initially communicating with the dog, and then Vet was able to telepathically communicate with the dog and sense its emotions. You all together followed the dog into a cave, started communicating with it. You fixed a collar, which indeed enabled it to communicate with you by vocalizing its thoughts. It opened its mouth and words appeared, right? Like you heard words. And then while you were doing that, 4 of Hakon's constables track the arm to the cave. You wipe the floor with them.
Just one, to be fair.
Sure, fair enough. You physically dispatched one summarily, and the others decided to choose the better part of valor and lead.
We're encouraged.
Yes.
To go.
Strongly encouraged.
We didn't even have to encourage them that much strongly.
I just yelled at them while
true.
shooting sparks into the sky, and they ran. I don't know why.
That's right. That Iotum
Very
blast.
intimidating.
You all are super intimidating. So that's where you are. You're in this cave. You had told the dog, and you learned its name at the end of the session, which is Good Boy. So the dog's name is Good Boy, and Good Boy is hiding in some part of the cave.
How's it spelled?
Goodboi. Good boy.
Good boy.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's where you are.
At the
I'll leave
New
it up to
Orleans
you.
Bois.
That's right. WEB, good boy.
Trying to remember, because we had a power source, the Tronic Amber, that was in the device, which was currently removed. I think Reuven has that, and then we have the
pocketed
big old chunk that Vet has. Yeah, so I think at this point, Faye is going to bring up, if they could track the arm, we probably should leave. And since we are trying to track this Aeon Priest, that sounds like a good direction to go. And once we're moving, you can pass the arm over.
You have to ask the dog. Ask Good Boy.
That's right.
We established that it could be used to track something.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we don't actually know that it's... Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, what you learned last time through communication with Good Boy is that Good Boy has some association with an Aeon Priest named Elkanah. Good Boy didn't mention that Elkanah was an Aeon Priest, but Reuven recognized the name, and remembered that Elkanah was heard of coming to this place at some point in the past. And when you offered to take the arm away, Good Boy just emphasized that he needs the arm in order to find Elkanah somehow. But he's a dog, so how do you make sense of that? You also asked if Elkanah's a good or bad person, but the dog is kind of confused. Like, I don't know what you mean.
I didn't ask if they're good or bad. I asked if bad people tried to hurt Elkanah.
Oh, that's right. Fair enough. That was a specific question.
I would never imply that a dog's master is bad to the dog. Unless I was taking that dog from the master.
All right. There we go.
But we did establish, I did establish with a roll, like, I could use a function of this arm to track something.
Yes.
Yeah, just that we would need time to... You need time to figure out how to make it do that.
Right.
Yeah, and you weren't sure what, just that it is connected to something.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
really
if
love
you...
that.
I think the specific one, you succeeded enough that it was like, if you take the time, you can figure out everything it does.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. But you knew that, hey, it had a number of functions, one of which it's a tracking function. You might assume that might be connected to your experience you have with the constables, but you aren't entirely sure yet because you haven't checked the arm again. Right. But I think that's the information. Oh, you also learned that Tronic Amber, or you remembered that Tronic Amber has stellar properties. It's somehow like said to be or known to be associated with stars.
Cool. How long is some time to figure out the mechanics?
Oh, gotcha. I think if you had like a work day, considering your aptitude,
the whole day. Cool.
Yeah, like 8 hours or something like that. Because you need to slowly do stuff.
String it up to the back of Faye's pack and work on it as I'm walking.
I bet you could learn considerable number of things, but for a lot of it, you're going to want to take it apart.
Right.
And especially in like a dusty place like this, I bet you'd prefer not to do that.
In that case,
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I should mention, when you went back to find Good Boy seemed to have like nestled himself in a small like corridor, crevasse or something like that at the back of the cave. And after he came out, those of you who were closer noticed that there was some kind of like air movement or something coming from it. Whereas when you first went in the cave, it seemed like it was completely blind. You go in and that's it, right? There's an entrance, but there's no other ways to get through. But it's a kind of small spot. You know, dogs can sometimes get into small places they're not supposed to be.
I love the Good Boys a lot like my daughter's dog. If they really like you, you can look at their favorite toy. You can never touch it, but you can look at it. And Good Boy's the same way with the arm.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so we're all back into the cave. We've noticed that there's maybe a small opening out a different direction or something, or another section of chamber or something like that.
Could be. Yeah.
Does anyone want to explore that?
Are you not giving up the arm? And sorry, Faye says this to the dog, but is looking at Reuven. It's like, are you really letting a dog boss us around?
For now.
Okay, fine.
I'll go and check out the spot. I feel like I might be able to fit into it better than most of you guys.
I have a backpack. I don't fit nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, you might fit if you didn't have that, but you do, so.
I don't understand the question.
You expect him to do the like cave diving thing where he takes off his pack and slides it through and holds his breath for 15 seconds? No.
No.
We're turning this game into The Descent.
Yeah. Can I just sort of try to slip through the back of the place and see what I can find?
Okay. So as you approach the crevasse that Good Boy was able to fit inside, Good Boy is a large dog, but was fit in kind of snugly. You observe that if you didn't have anything on you, you could probably slip through. It might be a little hard. You might get a little scuffed, but with sufficient deftness, you'd probably fit through. So it would be a dexterity 5, or sorry, a level 5 speed task to get through the opening.
Okay. Could my skill in sneaking apply? I'm used to slipping through little places.
Yes,
While she's putting that together, can I ask you a question?
absolutely.
Given the average galloping velocity of a riding lizard,
Mm-hmm.
how much time would it take for a riding lizard to get from here to the city and back?
Ooh, I see. So where did they come from? Stuff like that, right?
Well, I'm figuring I know where they
Where
came
did they
from.
go?
Where they come from. Yeah, that's right.
I'm expecting that there's going to be a much larger number of riding lizards coming back here fairly shortly, but I just want to get an idea how much time that is.
I think you're right about that. So, and I saw that you succeeded on the lowered to level 4. So, Craig, when the first time you noticed them in the distance, they were about 15 minutes away from you. So you anticipate that it's going to take about 15 minutes at least or you believe that you have at a minimum a half an hour until others will be back here. Unless somehow they're able to, hard ride the lizards, or they have a vehicle that moves faster than a riding lizard, or who knows? Maybe there's someone in the area, but a reasonable assumption is
some explanations and stuff like that. So there's some padding, but probably about a half an hour until we have more visitors.
Yes, you can be reasonably confident that you have at least a half an hour.
Okay.
Yep. And Vet succeeds in getting into the opening. Vet's very skillful at doing this kind of stuff. And you are now in a narrow passageway that is very faintly lit by the light coming in from the entrance to the cave. And it looks like it stretches... range bands. So it looks like it stretches long distance. So you're in what looks like a kind of a narrow tunnel. It's not so small that you would get trapped, but you could wiggle your way through. But you'd probably be wiggling for about 100 feet.
I want to sort of like poke my head out and ask the other folks, can I borrow one of the globes from somebody that has one?
That's
Because
whatever.
I don't have one.
I
Or
mean,
no, I
we
guess
have-
from Explorer's Pack.
We
whatever.
have 2, so
You guys have the good ones, yeah, that don't go out.
The major,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll take.
Undo my necklace and pass over this gift of the light of the river. Yeah, I don't have a name for it, but it was an extra long quest that Riven went on, and like, this is a very important artifact. I need you to take care of it, but I trust you with it.
Ooh.
Okay, so yeah, I'm carrying it like a lantern or like a sensor.
The question I was going to ask Ash is, do you want to get any help from your trash griffin?
Yeah, I guess it could go on ahead of me and sort
If you
of
want.
I mean, it takes a spin to actually like link up with it,
True.
and my pulls are looking kind of low. Well, I guess I still have 10 for int because I rested.
It's entirely up to you. You don't have to, though. You can be reasonably confident you can probably get through, especially with the globe being able to see. It doesn't look like there are any obstructions in the path.
I think I'm just going to go for it for myself right now.
I can
Okay,
answer the
sounds good.
question myself. Oh yeah. How much does it cost to link up for you, Ash, when you do that?
I think it's 2.
Oh, okay. Because as I say, because you do have 1 edge, so if it was only cost 1, it's actually free for you because of your edge. But if it's 2, never mind.
Might not have edge and intellect.
She has 1. That's what I was checking.
Oh.
Real quick.
Okay, so while she's doing that,
I know, telepathic is only 1.
Yeah, so you can do it for free because of your edge.
Link senses?
Yeah,
I think
it
link
lasts
senses
for
is
10 minutes. Yeah.
that's just communicating with it, not like sharing its senses.
Yeah, that one costs 2.
Cool. Sounds good.
But yeah, I'm just going to slip through, holding the little light out ahead of me and seeing where it goes.
All right.
So as she's going into the cave, Blaze will just say, spelunking and all that stuff is all fine, but we're going to have more company in about 25 minutes. And then goes over to stand guard by the door, or by the entrance of the cave.
All right. So, were you going to ask something, Chris?
I was going to say, I'm going to attempt to convince Good Boy to let us carry the arm for him while we all go together to look for
Okay.
Elkanah. And
Okay, cool.
the argument I will use, the reason why it is not steal, is that he's faster than us. So if we try to steal, he will catch us.
All right.
So you're gonna lie to the dog.
No. I'm only fast if I want to be fast.
Okay.
So,
I'm specifically not lying. Like, it's
so the dog, as mentioned before, like influencing it is difficult. It's level 4 dog, right?
Okay.
In this context, it really wants to keep this arm, so that raises the difficulty to level 6. However, you have an asset because the dog trusts Reuven.
so back down
And
to 5.
then- Yep, and so it's 5, and then you can approach it any other way you'd like, including many of the things you've used before. So,
I'm going to use my training with plants and animals
works for me.
and apply an effort.
Cool.
And I have failed.
Oh. Well.
Rip.
Yep. Not a 1, though. Not a
Not a
GM
1.
intrusion. So you do that, and the dog looks at you. Does it kind of look like he's listening to you? And then he looks like he wants to open his mouth to say something, but he's holding the arm in his mouth. So he squats down and puts the arm in his, and puts his arm on the ground. He puts his paws on the arm and looks up at you and says, "Good boy, keep arm."
Okay. Then when when Vet gets back, we'll need to leave. And we go together. You can keep arm. We go
And he
together.
looks at you and says, "Help,
Help.
good boy." And he wags his tail. All right, so our intrepid Jack Vet is crawling along this passage, and crawls 100 feet and emerges into, I won't say stale air, but what smells like a room that people haven't really been in very much, but there is air moving through it. So if it's reasonable for me to assume that you'd immediately then hold up the globe to try and look around.
Yeah.
Cool. You're in a room that is, this is a cave, so it's not hollow. This seems like a natural opening as opposed to like a man-made opening. It is about 15 feet in diameter. So like a small bedroom or something like that, and you see that there is an inscription on the far wall. It's kind of faint.
Yeah, I definitely want to go check it out and see if I can parse it.
Okay, sounds good. What skill do you have in languages?
I don't have any skill in languages. I'm good at assess danger, quality, importance, function, power.
Mm-hmm. I see one more thing on your list too. Oh, that's an inability.
I have an inability at like trivia.
Oh, I see. Lore knowledge.
Lore knowledge, etc. It's that I'm good at figuring things out, but I'm bad at like just knowing stuff. I don't have facts.
Okay. Then let's see. You have a choice here from my perspective, and I'm also happy to hear any other things you want to do with it. But if you walk up to this, it looks unfamiliar. Like I don't think it's a language you likely know, but you might be able to determine what the basic significance is of something left like this in a cave like this, or you could try and, I don't know, figure out what it means, but that might be hard for you.
Yeah, I think let's see what I don't have any of my stuff on me, do I? I had to leave like my pack behind.
Yeah, in order to fit into the passage. Unless you wanted to drag it on a rope. Wasn't very far though, so makes sense if you just left it at the opening.
Let me see how this works. We are long range distance away, right?
Yes, from them. Mm-hmm.
Does using an effort to activate my ability, can it make it go farther?
Not usually. Depends upon the ability.
Okay, it says like if you apply effort to increase the duration. Okay, to fit the difficulty, like to make it connect easier. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying this is minor effects or like increase the range.
Yeah. exactly. If you got a 19 and you're trying to activate it, or a major, you definitely would be able to.
I'm going to yell down the path and see if I can get one of them to come closer, if they could fit.
Right.
Faye walks to the front where Blaze is, pulls his pack down, sets it next to Blaze, just looks him in the eyes once, and walks away. He will never admit aloud that he's the only person that Faye trusts with his bag, but makes some comment under his breath about Vet was yelling for help.
Because, this is a thing that I don't think I can. I don't have the skills to do it, and I don't have the materials. I would need to, like, copy it down and take it back out, so.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, I will army.
I also have a thing.
Mhm.
I don't know what range it is, but I have a telepathy implant.
Ooh.
Ooh.
If it works like the
cipher you got?
ability, it's only short range. Because my initial thought was, I'll just make a telepathic link and then, like, say to them what I'm seeing.
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
I
it's
also-
only close range, yeah.
I guess your implant might work with me. My abilities don't work on you.
I love that you guys set that up of like, oh yeah, this doesn't work. By the way, we actually have a loophole. Though
Yep.
not intentional at all. But
that's a cool choice. I like it.
it was a speed check to
Speed test. That's right.
What was the
Mhm.
difficulty?
Level 5.
Level 5.
Can
Yep.
I be, like,
Or difficulty
assisting?
5.
Because I've done it before.
Help?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm here with
I-
a light at the other end, like, trying to direct you through it, pointing out, like, any tight squeeze or whatever.
It's true. At
Oh,
that
that
point,
makes sense.
yeah, I'm following the
Um,
light at the end of the tunnel.
I don't think following the light would help in this particular circumstance because it's a challenge of physical dexterity. So
Like, I was also thinking of being like,
you might have other ciphers though that might help with that. I mean, I'm open to assets being used to help. I just don't think the light specifically following the light would help.
Reuben reaches over and hands a. I like this one. It makes no sense. It's not from the game, right?
Okay,
it's just another cipher he's picked up, and he sees Faye getting ready to like struggle and climb in there. He goes, "Point your nose down exactly where you want to be," and then he slaps a slap bracelet on his wrist, activating the teleporter.
What?
Like the activation is it slaps, right? And so when it breaks the band, the tension of it, it teleports a user up to 100 times cipher level in feet to a location they can see.
Cool. Yeah. So the glow globe in this case did help because he can see where he needs to teleport. Awesome.
They arrive safely with their possessions.
Ooh, fantastic.
So you can have your bag.
Yeah.
Well, you might not be able to get back out though.
so no.
It's a one-way device. So yeah, probably not.
I had that same thought. I was like, wait, unless I dig my way out.
I have light tools, so I have like a hammer and a chisel.
If I have my bag, I have it all. I can
We got
even make a magnetic
27 minutes
detector.
now?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't designed like a self-carrying bag.
You all gonna go in there.
I have an automated cook working my way up.
Boston Dynamics robot from nine worlds ago.
Yep.
The miniature Howl's Castle.
Yeah, that's right. Let's do it.
Give me long
I
enough.
love it.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna direct you at the thing on the wall. Can you read it?
I certainly can try.
It's the luggage. Yep.
I do not have any particular skills in deciphering this.
Yeah.
but I have a lot of intellect and edge, so I'm gonna put a lot of effort into it. What was the difficulty on this?
6.
6. Okay, that's where the 6 was. And that's not gonna help. That's not gonna help. Okay, nope. All right. In that case, I guess I will just roll.
Nice.
Minor effect.
No problem.
We got a minor effect. What do you want that minor effect to be? I know you don't know what's going on here yet, but what do you wanna offer me here? What are we going for?
Oh, sorry. I'm just subtracting my edge or pool real quick. Actually, that is a question. Would it be possible to actually get a refund towards the costs spent on stuff? And this is more of a generic question of like how the cipher system works. Is that or is that more of a major effect? Because I know that is effectively asking health back.
Yeah. It depends upon the situation. I say with a major effect, yeah, that is a standard thing that comes. You can get a refund of the points you spent. With a minor effect, I'd
Probably
say no.
not. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You get it really fast since time is.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. Yeah, is the fact
You're
that
just like, oh, it's this. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, of course I can read this. My mind was like, is it a magic text that's gonna light up because you read it right?
Yeah, that's right. You got to connect the bands again, and all of a sudden the wall starts talking.
You just add one little slash right here, and then
put the fissure in. But no, yeah, for me, it's 100% just getting it quickly. We do have a time constraint.
Yeah. So this is what you get quickly. You notice that over time, a rivulet of water has eroded a part of the message, and so it seems hard to decipher. But you perceive that, and you're able to restore that with like a sharp scratch based on where it is, and it looks like a name. Name you might not see. I don't know. You know exactly what this is. What I mean is, it's like you can remember this. If I'm not going to require you to make an intellect test to remember this, but the symbols or whatever it is, it's a name. So we haven't decided collectively about languages and how that works. So I'm in this particular context, considering how you travel around, I'm happy to assume that you know what a common trade language might be in the region. And so for narrative ease, if it makes sense to you, we'll just say it's in that trade language.
Okay.
Does that work for you, Drew? You like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not the common language that we've been talking, but is a more regional thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a trade language in Syrio, and you know this to be a miner's tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And the name is Gus.
Like Gus was here.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Besides that name that's scribbled in there, is there anything else that, well, especially if I'm trying to, figure this out, is there any other markings or things that I might discover?
I'll say, upon seeing that that's a name and recognize it in the miner's tongue, local miner's tongue, you look around. You think about the passage you both came through, Vet more deftly than you did, and the passage of water coming down it, right? You look up and you see, okay, maybe water comes through here, and you look around and you can tell that there is some abrasion, that somebody occupied this space at some point in the past. for whatever length of time. It was more than once. It might have been a habitual thing, but you're not exactly sure when. Just that somebody had some stuff here. They were here. They probably wrote their name there. Whoever this Gus is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. No, this doesn't help me make anything.
I mean, if I look around at where the water is coming in, there's no way out, right? It's just like groundwater seepage.
Not groundwater, from the ceiling.
Yeah, but it's not like I can't find a crack that is a creek that I can escape with.
Oh yeah, no, not in this particular circumstance.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this part is blind. The first cave when you saw Good Boy hiding wasn't, but there was this room back and it has this name on the wall, and it looks like somebody hung out there at some point.
Okay, noted.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
if we need to, we could probably hide here because we only really found this spot because the dog knew it was here.
it's true. Yeah, especially if we have to come back and figure out how we're going to return a borrowed cyberarm. It's not a bad little hidey hole.
Okay. Do you want to?
Yeah, I'm going to
Listen,
follow
do you. Want to hunker down here and let the other people come back, look for us, not find us, and leave? Or do we want to head out? Because we don't have mounts and they do.
Oh, that's true. We could disappear and then move at the cover of night. That you are, you're a sneaky kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna wait here while you sneak through and let everybody else know the plan. Oh, my
Just
bag.
You can just shout.
Yeah, they can hear us.
It's 100 feet. It's fine.
Especially if you shout into the tube.
Reuven just goes, I can
gonna
hear
go-
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're basically going to try to have this conversation with you guys through this
Through
hole
the tunnel.
until
Yeah.
we decide which way we want to go.
Let me go see what Blaze thinks. Reuven walks up. Still doesn't quite know how to interact with Blaze, but like,
Nobody does. It's okay.
Yeah. hello.
What news from the world of talking dogs?
Not much new from the dog world, but Vet has floated the idea of there's a secret room back there, right? Vet has floated the idea of hiding in the secret room until we have cover of darkness with which we may venture out. As we are being pursued by people with mounts and we have none.
I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
In the space beyond, is there enough room for 4 of us and a dog?
Easily.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's...
Is there a way to escape in case they push fire down the hole or poisonous gas? Or is there any escape from that space in the secret room?
No.
Then my vote would be to not put ourselves into a death trap.
Yeah.
I would rather go down swinging than be buried under a
I
mountain.
will admit to having the same thought.
But by all means, let's get their opinion on the matter.
Blaze said no, then I say no.
Yeah. Reuven's
Okay.
like at the head of the thing, like, I don't like the idea of having to fight or get smoked out or something.
Yeah, like if
The idea is they won't find us. Because we didn't find this hole and we searched the cave.
it had a sneaky back entrance or a way out or any other
That's what I was
assets.
hoping for, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
So we're gonna head out then?
Yeah, we gotta leave
let's
soon.
go.
You know
Yeah.
how to use the arm?
No. Not yet.
What do you need to be able to use the arm?
Time.
Permission and time.
He doesn't need permission.
Let it go, Blaze. I did.
I love it. It's so good.
I am going to make a snatch for the arm.
Ooh, yes.
You steal from Good Boy.
Yes, do it. Take it. Take it from that poor dog. It's a dog.
What's the... It's a level 4 dog, you said, so difficulty is 4.
However, trying to get the arm from the dog is a difficulty 6 task.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I interfere?
Yeah. You want
and it's pretty easy. Like, Blaze looks over at the dog and he's like sizing up his moment to make a grab for it. If you want to interfere, by all means.
So if you interfered, it would hinder.
Yeah.
Blaze.
Well, you could just derail it entirely.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You want to handle it? Go ahead.
There's this like really intense look on Blaze's face for a second, and Ruben just kind of steps like.
Hero's hoping for like the samurai showdown, like intense look. Play out the battle in your eyes.
I mean, yes, but like with a smirk, not with a.
Vet, I'm gonna follow you out of the tunnel.
Sure. I will basically walk out and just sort of like hold your hand and guide you through pull you through any tight places.
It's just that narrow tunnel. But real quick, what's happening with Blaze and Reuven?
Blaze kind of holds up his hand, but then reaches back and then pulls his shock ring, and then waves it at Good Boy. Hey, look what I got. Look what I got.
You're gonna kill the dog.
Throws it out the front of the cave.
It's a frisbee.
It's an electrified frisbee.
I haven't
Turn it on.
Okay.
And he's like, go get it.
Good Boy looks really excited. But he is trying to keep this arm.
Mm-hmm.
He's really committed to this arm. So if you're trying to persuade Good Boy to run towards the shock ring.
Yes.
Okay. He's not going to drop the arm, but he would have run out of the cave after the shock ring.
I was to say, he's just going to scoop it up in his mouth and go chase the ring and then sit on the ring. And now you've lost the ring too.
Well, I'm hoping that this isn't actually an Aeon Priest and it has dog intellect. So maybe I can work that out somehow.
I think that's a reasonable thought. It's a dog, as far as you can tell.
As far as Blaze is concerned, this is a dog.
Yeah.
And this thing is actually, when this dog is actually an Aeon Priest, I'm going to fucking laugh so hard.
It's an Aeon Priest named Gus if you haven't figured it out yet.
Yes.
His first name is Amon.
Terrible. No.
I'm in support.
Amon Gus.
Making it happen. Any more puns, bring it on. It's going to be canon immediately.
So what do you want for me to try and get the dog?
Yeah, what's your goal?
I want to get the arm in my possession.
Okay. Doing anything to try and get the arm, difficulty 6.
Sure.
Try and snatch the arm, difficulty 6. You try and somehow distract the dog so it drops the arm, difficulty 6.
That's what I'm trying to do, is distract the dog with the shock
so
ring.
but if you were to throw the shock ring, the dog would run after the shock ring. So if your idea is then once the dog approaches the shock ring, then you snatch the arm away. If it's distracted by the shock ring, I would consider that to be an asset to your attempt to snatch it away.
Sure.
You might have to trade.
That's fine. I'm sure I'll be able to get it back sooner or later. Is this a speed, might, intellect?
Oh, if you're snatching, it's a speed task. It's a might task or a speed task. If you want to kick it out of its mouth, it's an intellect task. If somehow you're going to like play some kind of Caesar Milan dog whisperer, looking at it and like making weird sounds, like you're going to Cartman this dog. Is it? You're gonna
double fake out. You don't actually throw the shock ring. You've done the old fake ball throw.
I want him to actually go and chase it. So I'll put 2 levels of effort.
Okay.
How do I put that in? Roll F.
Roll effort 2.
2. Okay.
And
that should be it. I have edge 2, so it's effectively free.
no, it isn't.
Oh, okay.
It'll cost you 4 net points. Because each level of effort costs 3, and then you apply the edge at the end. Sorry? Oh, it's 5.
First
That's
one
right.
costs 3.
Yeah, first one's 3, and then
Subsequent
second one's
costs 2.
That's right. So it costs you 3 net.
Okay.
Forgive me. Thank you,
Fine.
Chris. That's exactly
So
right.
I get a +1 point back on my speed then, because I spent
Yes, indeed.
2 for each.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Alright.
just to point it out, it is down in the bottom of the rolls. That's that cost.
Yeah.
So for like mine, I put 2 effort into it. 5
Yeah.
minus my 2 edge told me 3 cost.
That's right.
All right. Skadoosh.
No!
Major
Damn.
effect. Oh, all right.
A thief.
I
Give
think
it
my
to me.
major effect is that
Mhm.
I'm gonna. I don't know if I can do that. My major effect is that he'll actually drop the arm to go chase the shock ring.
That's a possibility. Or what? Here's an offer. Okay,
Mhm.
which is supports the basic thing you're accomplishing there. You distract him, and because your timing is so good, as the dog gallops out after it, you're able to remove it from its mouth, and it doesn't realize you've snatched the arm out.
Perfect.
Does that
Perfect.
work?
Yeah.
That fits my narrative, my image of it a little better, based on what Blaze is good at.
Good.
Cool.
And you're standing there right next to Dave's pack.
Yeah, and then just stuff the arm into Dave's pack.
All right.
Thief.
Trade, not thief.
Not a
Trade.
trade. Not free.
It left the arm. It went after the shock ring.
Didn't leave the arm, you snatch it out of its mouth right in front of Ruben! There were witnesses!
The line of this dog.
You're thieving Edge or framing Faye.
Now I'm gonna have to lie to this dog.
Yeah.
And then I will
That's hilarious.
shoulder Faye's pack since we're going to be getting a move on right away.
Blaze better tell Faye about this real fast, otherwise there's going to be
Mhm.
problems.
Wanting this arm for so long. Now you have it. Shush.
I also want to point some out, Craig. I think that you spent too much effort
Oh,
because you can only apply 2 levels of effort. So
Right.
you should take 2 points back on your speed.
And not
roll.
do 5. Yep.
okay.
Yeah, it of course doesn't affect the result because
Right.
the
Roll a 20.
difficulty was 6 and you rolled a 20, right?
Mhm.
So everything's great.
Okay.
Just
That would've-
that way, you
Would have
know.
been 9.
Exactly.
Sick.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome.
I will
That's it.
kindly say that Reuven is looking into the crack to see how the progress is going when this happens. So that I do not have to deal with this shenanigans. Thinking firmly, I have dissuaded you from taking the arm from this dog at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, check and see how the crawling progress is going.
So speaking of that, as Ash said, Vet is going to lead Faye by the hand. Vet's already done this. Vet is experienced. Vet doesn't have any trouble and is definitely not going to have to roll again in order to shimmy through. If Vet tells Faye to, I don't know, grab an ankle or follow along exactly as she tells, then Vet can coach Faye in coming back through.
Oh yeah, I basically got him by the hand.
Oh,
Well, because it's that low
It's really
crawl.
tight for that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's probably got a hand on your ankle.
Mhm.
as you're
Yeah, that's
crawling
fine.
Unless you, unless
Oh, this is
Vet-
like a horizontal crawl through
Mhm.
crack.
Yes,
I was
yeah,
picturing
exactly.
like a vertical.
Yeah, I thought it was
boy.
like a crack.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, let's go with your imagination. Yeah, it's a vertical crack. I was imagining something. Now I understand why you ask certain questions that way. Cool. Yeah, when I said it was a little tunnel, okay, but fair enough. It's a crack. So you can lead him by the hand. That totally works for me.
Okay, so now we're back in the room.
Yes, indeed.
Blaze is wearing my bag.
slung over one shoulder.
That's the improper way to carry it.
needs to be balanced.
Yeah. I was like, I get that we're in a hurry, but would you just...
And it's significantly heavier. About the weight of one cyberarm.
Oh, yeah. And I guarantee there are some various gizmos that have been plugged into my brain that go, hey. And just sitting there, adjust, look at Blaze. What did you do?
He wanted the arm. And then heads off towards the direction that the dog indicated before.
Which direction was that?
Out of the cave where the dog is with your chakra, and everyone immediately realizing what you've done.
That's fine.
But also, like, we don't have a direction to go because we haven't
Yeah, we right now we need to
deciphered
get
the arm.
Oh, right. Okay, we want to get the arm so we can get the direction.
Right now we need to just get away from the cave.
All right, So I bought you some time and you've got the arm. And then Blaze will go out and play fetch with Good Boy.
We need a day to figure this
To
thing
figure
out.
out how to... No, that's everything. To just figure out the tracing should be a lot simpler. The conversation was that he needed a day to understand everything about the arm.
I will refer back to Ralph and double check.
Yeah, so to figure out everything, you know that it does do some kind of tracking. You're not exactly sure how it does that tracking. Yes, it will likely take less time to do that, but because you're not sure of exactly which function of the arm is responsible for the tracking, you don't know when in the investigation it'll lead. Greg, you're completely right. It could take Reuven, as an experienced nano, a half an hour.
Mhm.
But it might take
Still less
7.5 hours.
Still more time than we have right now. So
Exactly, yeah.
So let's get going.
Yeah, so either way we're going, and Ruben will, or Blaze will be using the shock rings to play with the dog as we're moving along.
Yeah. And
Are any of
totally.
you skilled at covering up our tracks?
Our rugged nano. Who probably himself, their self, does not leave footprints when they don't want to.
Yeah. I think at the moment, like, because we've traveled to here, so I know some of the surrounding sort of, you know, naturing things, and so I guess pulling on like plants and animals and like the lay of the land and stuff like that. Yeah, I'd like to, I guess, hurry everyone along, but not leave like immediate like marching order tracks.
Okay. Sounds good. They're going to be, for transparency's sake, right? People are coming after this. They're going to be employing a tracker. And that's a difficulty 5 tracker. So if you succeed in obscuring your tracks against the difficulty 5 tracker, then the tracker is unable to find you.
Okay.
Because obscuring our tracks isn't just physical tracks as well. It's like arrows and...
That's right. There's all kinds of aspects of this, especially considering what Chris was describing, right? That goes into how you're doing this. And then there are two things I want to mention that just to make sure I was clear in what information I shared with you, so that no, you weren't misled. The first thing is that Good Boy didn't specifically indicate a direction to go with the arm.
Right.
You just followed Good Boy to the cave.
Right.
And there was no conversation about where to go. Excuse me. And the second thing is, you asked the constable why the constable thought that the arm was in the cave. And she held up a device.
Right.
That showed like a locator beacon or something like that. And that was after you took the tronic amber out of the arm.
Right.
All right,
Forgot about that. In which case, I think distance matters more than actually like, if they can like track the fucking GPS of it, right? Then it doesn't matter how well I hide our tracks. To an extent, right?
I mean, you're not sure what the precision is,
right?
Because you didn't get the device. So there still is an advantage.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What was that? Sorry.
Yeah, and hiding our tracks involves also like obscuring whatever beacon the arm is sending out. Somehow, like wrap a wet towel around it or whatever, like that. It's still a skill roll, right?
It would be if you can figure out how to do it.
Right. I think Reuven's main thought would be getting distance because a lot of these things have maximum range.
Okay.
Good.
And so,
you can, yeah.
Like hurrying people along through the terrain safely and as quickly as possible.
I mean, you have about you have at least 20 minutes till anyone would get to your
Right.
position.
Right.
So if you were running around the world forever, you got a 20-minute head start.
That's probably less involving the plants and animals and stuff. So, I am trained in running.
Okay, that's true. Yeah. If you want to embark on what would effectively be a chase, we can do that.
Okay.
Before you do that, I'll mention to you the other information about the setting that you know that we discussed at first, but might not be occurring to you immediately, right? There's Hakon's Bazaar, right?
Mhm.
Takes place in this area. You know there is a town of Syrio nearby.
Mhm.
Supposed to be underground. And you know that Hakon has an estate somewhere nearby.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotta ask the dog which way he thinks Elkanah went.
Oh.
It's a good start.
So you ask the dog that, and the dog, of course, does not realize that he doesn't have the arm in his mouth because he's a dog, and Blaze was so successful. So whether the dog is a shock ring or not, the dog would pause and look at you and open its mouth, and then out comes Elkanah, and then the dog looks up. Up. Yeah, dog looked up.
Blaze is like trying to resist, but looks up.
It's the middle of the day, and you see wonderful desert clouds, considering that there is an aquifer underneath this particular expanse of the desert. So there's sufficient evaporation in some places. It's a beautiful blue sky. That's what you see right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Do
So
we
the
know
dog, it did look distinct. I'm sorry, Ash. One moment. It did look distinct that the dog, you asked the dog where Elkanah went. The dog said Elkanah. Looked like the dog was thinking, and then looked up. What was that, Ash?
Do we have any knowledge of floating cities?
Ooh, floating cities?
I will.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I will jump in character and be like, I can make float stone, ma'am. I can make stones that go up. So yeah.
So, yeah.
You have heard tales, without any rolls, I'll tell you this. Across the Steadfast and the Wilds, you have heard of an occasional large home that someone has been able to rig up from some old, like a yacht, like a floating yacht. You've also heard vaguely of a fantastical, I don't want to say fortress, but something akin to that in the minds of people in this context, that has been fabled to travel the beyond at times. So, from what you know, there are floating city. I don't know. It might be hard to believe, but you know of things that have floated that people are on at some point in the past.
Okay.
Yep. And as a jack, you also do know about the beanstalk. You know, the beanstalk goes right into the sky. So.
So yeah, I completely buy that she's up there somewhere.
Okay. We don't have a way to go up right now, he says to the dog. So, will you come with us to another town and find more help?
More help?
More help?
More help.
All right. And they're going to suggest that we
Book it.
make way to Syrio?
Syrio. Yeah.
Syrio.
Sirio.
Sirio. Okay.
Mhm.
And try and get lost in that and buy enough time to look over the arm and stuff.
That sounds good. Cool.
Cool. So yeah, I'm floating the idea of a running task.
Cool. Yep.
To like find a route through the, essentially cross country running to get to this town.
Yep.
And the difficulty I'm picturing is not for myself, but like finding a route everyone can follow and keep up with and stuff like that, right?
I see what you mean. Yeah, totally. If you want to take responsibility for others, right, that will hinder you.
Sure.
You can also aid them, give them an asset, and then they would have to roll themselves.
Okay.
So if you want to mount a chase effectively, right, and avoid them and cross-country run, I think that's a great choice in this circumstance. And the way we can easily model that is it's a difficulty 5 tracker who's trying to come after you, right? Even though they have some kind of locator beacon or whatever that technology is, they still have to travel overland.
Right.
They have to navigate stuff.
Right.
So your rugged training is definitely going to be helpful.
Okay.
So you will be able to buy yourself effectively 20-minute increments until you get to Syrio. You'll be able to stay 20 minutes ahead of them each time you succeed.
Okay.
Okay. You need it. It's about an hour from where you are to get to Syrio.
Okay. So 3 difficulty 5.
Yes.
Oof.
What type of check?
You know what? Let's make it 2. You succeed on 2, you get to Syrio.
This is going to be might or speed?
Speed.
Okay.
Running is a speed task.
Right.
One of
Wasn't
the
sure
few.
if that
There are a couple of
endurance
ones
thing
that are
factored
explicitly described. Most of the time, you can do lots of stuff. But if you can think of ways to incorporate different skills you have, skills are pool agnostic.
I have a skill in lies and trickery. So can I try to work on like maybe leaving false clues?
Yeah, I think that works. That helps. Yeah. You know what, Chris? I like the implication you're given by the question. For narrative's sake, it doesn't need to be more than one roll to me.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was thinking of something else, but I think it's more interesting that other things happen. We don't need to draw this out.
Sure.
So if you can make a roll, you can stay 20 minutes ahead and you can make it to Syrio. So it's a difficulty 5 roll. So if you can either make a roll just you or just Blaze, one person can make it and they can hinder themselves 1 level for each additional person they're making it for, or everyone can make it, the roll.
Okay.
I mean, it'd be
Sounds
really
like-
a lot harder, right? But
Yeah, sounds like everybody needs
and you got effort you can apply, and
I
people
feel
got
like that.
skills. So
I'm trained in running as well.
I think you're specialized in running, aren't you?
Nope, just trained.
Oh, okay.
Would my trickery apply?
Yes.
Make it
yeah.
down 1? Okay.
Yeah, totally. Happy to count that skill. That makes sense to me. If others got other things they can suggest, if you have ciphers that can help as an asset, that's also a totally good thing. I mean, it is the cipher system, so you can always possibly use a cipher.
I'm going to use a gravity nullifying spray
Oh.
on Faye's backpack
Oh, yeah.
so it does not burden them at all.
That's a great idea. Asset for Faye. Easy.
Cool.
And then, do you think my phase sprint counts as an asset for me?
Oh, totally. Yeah. You can move more quickly. It's not as especially because you don't have to spend points for that, right? You have sufficient edge that you can do it automatically.
Right. You fucking guy.
Oh,
I didn't roll a 1.
that's right. You didn't. All right.
Failed to.
Ooh.
How did you fail?
That's still a
Because
D20. It's still...
Yeah.
Mm-mm. was hoping one of y'all got a major or minor.
To make up for the losses.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
now, I will point out the reason Reuven failed is because Reuven was picking up Faye's slack or attempting to. I got you, buddy.
that's fair.
All right. So, here is where Cypher System and Fortunate Dark have something nice in common, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
GM intrusions.
That's right. GM intrusions here, right? We can make a deal.
We have intrusions also.
That's right. Player intrusions.
Oh, I should look at mine.
Indeed. So, at least one of you failed, which means you weren't able to completely evade them. You did have a 20-minute head start, as we established, right? So they are going to see you at the end of this 20 minutes when you're reaching Syrio. Because this is a question of whether or not you can evade the tracker, not whether or not you can make it to Syrio. You can definitely make it to Syrio. So, them seeing you, if you'd like to accept this GM intrusion, and usually it's an individual, right? So those who failed would be able to get this intrusion, and then they could keep an experience and give an experience to someone else. So effectively, everyone could get one experience if you want, right? And that intrusion would be that in the haste, you drop the arm.
Oh no.
Once Faye realizes that thing is in his bag, yeah, there's no way he's
all right.
He's
losing track of that.
This is a meta thing,
right?
So,
can I intrude on their behalf?
Do you have any experience?
Yeah,
you gave us one, right? We all get one.
Oh, that's right. You did start with one. Yeah, totally. Mm-hmm.
One of my intrusions is Lucky Break.
Hmm.
Something unexpected happens, it is to your advantage. A rope your opponent is hanging from might snap, the person you're debating in front of an Aeon Priest might trip or forget what they were going to say, or something that was supposed to last only a round or two lasts a little while longer.
Ooh, all right.
That is such a good intrusion.
That's a great intrusion, yeah. So I'll say this then. Anyone who failed can spin an XP and trigger a Lucky Break. Actually, no, the one will be enough. So you're choosing a spin, works for me. I have an idea for that, but if you have an idea, I'd like to hear yours first.
I've got a suggestion.
What is your suggestion? Because mine was like, they're chasing us and then like sinkholes.
Oh, see, I wasn't even thinking that dramatic. I was thinking of legitimately getting into the city and then just the bus drives by, right? The whatever vehicle, and suddenly we're gone, lost into the mass of people. They know we're in the city, but they immediately just...
I like that. I was thinking of like out on the plains when they catch sight of us, how to break away from that. But no,
you do the Jason Bourne.
Right, exactly.
Like literally just the car goes by and then you're not there.
Yep.
That's great. We're going to do something combining that, okay?
Yeah.
All right, if that's okay. So I'm going to accept all of that, and I want to describe what you see when you go into this place, because it seems like it's a good time for the break, if you'd like, right? If you want to break here, I'll describe what you dramatically see, because something's going to happen, okay? So you all make this 20-minute run across the desert, led by Reuven's rugged training, Blaze's practiced skill, the aid of the Cypher to make Faye's backpack less heavy, and Vet's knowledge and practice of trickery. And you feel pretty confident. The dog is running with you, loping along, happily hanging onto the uncharged shock ring in his mouth. And you feel like you're going to get to your destination. You're evading your pursuers because you haven't seen them yet. And then you travel over a dune and down a bluff, and then you catch sight of them because they're coming a slightly different direction. This is an underground city, and so you're approaching a natural passage that has been shaped and reinforced over time. And you descend into it, and you hear the sounds of your pursuers. And then, as you're about to go further in, you also hear the distinct sounds of machinery. And a large cart pulls up and accosts them, because they're a much larger party, and says, "Halt None may bring dust into Syrio. And assuming you heard that, but didn't turn around to watch, you proceed further down the passage, and you get far enough in that you can see the city before you are also brought over to the side by some attendants who say, or guards, halt, no dust may be brought into Syrio. And you see how do I want to describe this? Let's see. You see suspended on an enormous platform, what looks a bit like, how about this? A miniature version of Las Vegas. Okay? What I mean by that is, the Las Vegas is you'd imagine in Temenos, all right? Some places are highly luminous and others aren't. Some seem kind of dark. And you can hear revelry from this distance. The only way to get across are these, what look like very frail, but certainly advanced bridges, each cordoned off by these people who stopped you and said, halt, no dust may be brought into Syrio. This platform is connected to several cables, let's say 7 or 8 cables, that are suspending it from the ceiling of this enormous cavern. And there is a giant pillar going up from the base of the platform all the way up into the ceiling of this cavern. And ringing it at a distance are enormous waterfalls that water coming out of the wall like underground rivers and descending down into the pit that yaws beneath the platform. And if you'd like, we can take a break here.
Heck yeah.
Alrighty. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back in a moment. I'm going to rehydrate. Get ready. We'll see you in a bit. Alrighty. We're back. And so, yeah, you are all halted by the guards. Said halt. No dust may be brought into Syrio. Fortunately, your pursuers were in a larger group. They were making a feverish pace across the desert at you, and they got coated in it, so they're tied up for the moment. You're a smaller group. The guards then usher you into a glass-walled chamber, and they, from the outside, say, hold up your appendages.
Do the TSA arm spreading.
And
on T-pose for
and then-
dominance.
Blaze is flexing his pecs as he.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And you look over. If any of you look at Good Boy, yes, Good Boy leans on the glass. He stands up and leans on the glass. And so then the guards walk over to like a foot pedestal. Looks like they activate a plate with their foot, and all of a sudden you hear like a magnetic hum coming from above you. You can't exactly tell where from, and you can feel all dry debris repelled off you. It goes down beneath a grate at the bottom. And then the hum goes off. And they allow you to exit the chamber. So your skin feels weird. If you want to inspect it, I'll tell you what it feels like.
We've been exfoliated. But yeah,
That's right. That's exactly it. You don't have any dry skin. If you were to touch your scalp, you don't feel any dander or dandruff. The dog wouldn't feel any dander on his flesh. And yeah, your skin feels as though it's recently been scrubbed.
This is probably cleaner than vet's ever been.
Yep.
You've never worked in a lab before, have you?
But like nipples and chest hair and stuff is still there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was not expecting the word nipples to be said.
Yeah, all your parts are there. You can even check if you want.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, that'd be the first thing you check.
Yeah, say Faye and
Yes,
Blaze are
fine.
both
Yeah.
shirtless here, so
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying if you want to check inside your pants, you can to confirm that
Oh.
nothing has been removed. You should probably have noticed from the lack of terrible sensation. But
right.
yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Nothing has come off of your body other than things that can drop, minute particles and things that contribute to dust. So somehow anything that generates dust that's on your body, and a lot of that, as you suggested, is skin flakes, is gone. And the dust from the desert as well.
Sure.
I have a shockingly clean trash griffin.
That's right. Your
That
trash
poor-
griffin has never
that
been
poor
this
Griffin
clean.
needs some comfort.
That-
My protective layer of skunk.
My grime.
My grime.
Oh no, my grime.
Hang on, I'm going to message Amanda about a shirt idea.
So funny. Hold on, real quick. I gotta write that down.
Just message her, my grime, in all caps. I'll explain later. But yeah, if we're cleared,
They then usher you in, and they say, "Only the dust-free may enter Syrio."
thank you.
Thank you for removing the dust.
It is the duty of the dust guards. And they usher you forward, and they say, completely serious. So yeah, you can walk across the bridge. You hear some like yelling and things like this, and indistinct arguments, like there being unruly passengers on a Frontier Airlines flight. So you can tell that you have some time. The bridge is not enormous. Like the chasm is it's 100 yards across from where you are to the big platform at the start of Syrio. But you're definitely going to be able to get away from them. They are waylaid, and they're making it worse for themselves.
Great.
Yep.
As we're making away, Blaze just sort of says under his breath, "Yet another experience and sensation that I never wanted. Just keep happening when I'm in your company, Faye."
You could stay outside the city.
And leave you by yourself.
I mean, yes. I think Faye goes so far as to say, it's not like I like your company. But Faye's goal is to get into the city and find somebody who would put up with room and board for basically a right and a glaive, and traveling companions. But basically, without asking, offering Blaze's service as a bodyguard, doorman, bouncer, and Faye's services as I will fix your shit. And then we have two traveling companions who need beds as well.
So how you want to do that? You're just like asking around people?
For Faye, he is unabashedly heading for places of luxury and then working his way down as he gets denied, as opposed to going to like the shittiest place, trying to get the most out of, most bang for his buck effectively. Gotcha.
Okay. Sounds good. So like I said, there is clearly a mix of different kinds of establishments. They're all excited. You hear even more now. You heard a faint sound of revelry, like, a party at a distance down the block, something like that. But, it was 100 yards away and you were hearing this. Now that you're in the city, it seems like there is abundant, intense revelry all over the place. Like people are constantly partying. They're having a good time. There's raucous laughter. And you can see in a distance that it looks almost like a cascade of of different. I wouldn't say class, right? Especially considering how this works in the ninth world. But it looks like the quality of establishments or how garish they are transitions to maximum garishness and then descends throughout the city. You can ride a wave of absurdity.
Love it.
I'm glad. Yeah.
We've been doing that since this adventure started. From places.
Exactly.
Yes. So yeah, if you want to, I'm happy to accept that description, right? You don't need to make a skill test or anything in order to ask questions, right? So people would say, you come up, they probably haven't seen you before, right? If you're not disguising that you're fresh in town and you mention you're looking for a place to stay, they'll say, if you're a merchant, people often stay at the Cascade Inn. Or if you're traveling and you want to try and earn your keep, people are sometimes able to find success at the Jax Haven.
I mean, oh yeah, no, that's true. We are traveling. We're not gonna probably stay here. Like, and that's like Faye literally has that moment of like, new place I could work. I can set up shop for. Oh wait, Aeon Priest. Dang it. Yeah. Okay. So heads to the Jax, effectively.
You want to go to Jax Haven?
Yeah.
All right. So Jax Haven, they give you directions, and it takes you a little while to get there from where you are when you first enter the city. And it looks like it is in a valley in that transition in garishness, right? So it goes up high and coming down. Looks like right as it's going back up, that's where Jax Haven is and this kind of stuff. So you approach Jax Haven, and let's see, what do you see when you get there? You gonna walk in the door? Are you gonna ask anybody there? Or are you just gonna go inside and see what's going on? What would you like to do?
Faye is bold enough to just like, I want to speak to the proprietor, not like whoever's on the front desk or anything like that, but I want to talk to whoever's in charge, just because he knows he's not paying, or at least doesn't intend to. So this is going to be something he needs to work out with somebody above the front desk.
Okay, cool.
Keep in mind we only need, and looks over it, 8 hours.
I mean, I'd like to sleep today.
Yeah, I'm kind of beat.
Yeah.
Fine.
All right. So you walk up to, I guess you walk to the bar or something like that, Jax Haven? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, so you walk into what looks like a kind of busy tavern. And when you all walk in, everybody in unison turns around. They stop what they were doing, and they look at you. There's about 100 people in this room right now. Tables all over the place. They're in the midst of conversation. There's somebody behind the bar. This combination of like lacquered wood and metal, seamlessly integrated. And there are some stairs in the distance. Look like they spiral up.
Sounds like there's stairs everywhere.
Yeah.
Riven just goes,
That's hilarious.
with all of the energy of, hey, Zuko here.
Mm-hmm.
Blaze is making a point of like making eye contact with people as if he's assessing them as a potential opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Just one to next. Anybody in there worth his time?
All right. Faye and Vet, do you two do anything in response?
I was looking.
I'm just feeling incredibly uncomfortable in here.
No, that's true. Yeah, the poor thief. with the whole energy of, drinks for everybody kind of thing, Faye just looks out and says, "Who wants a restorative dispenser?"
They all look at each other and they say, "That's a good trick."
Who's going to hook me up? I need some stuff. I'll put it together.
Somebody from behind the bar, the tender, wasn't. We're not going to do this wiping a dirty glass with a dirty
Right.
towel, because this is the ninth
Everything's
world,
clean
and
here.
also, yes, exactly. Things are dust free, right? Aren't particles on it. But somebody calls over to you. They say, "I'll see that."
All right. Faye, I don't think Faye intentionally does it, but he's got cowboy swagger. It's like, we're talking about my kind of stuff, and he pulls out the plans for a restorative dispenser, lays it out, and I mean, this is arcane piles of papers and, other doodads and stuff like that. Lays it out. Yeah, see, here you go. Boom, 3 cups a day.
You give me plans?
Oh, no. I will do more than that. I will build it for you.
Wait. What?
Yeah, I mean, I need some stuff, but you can handle that. It's hard to find somebody with this kind of knowledge, pointing at the thing, and the know-how to actually do it. Ask Reuven. He's a nano. Reuven, you're skilled and talented nano. Can you put this together? Reuven?
No, I cannot.
See?
All right.
And then grins and puts a thumbs up. Hey, so there's the downside of the rugged. is
Right, I
that
was gonna say.
fucking talk to people.
Oh, I
They
know.
Make me uncomfortable.
I know. Faye is already going,
I don't
I
wanna
just
be
need
here."
to do this with Blaze from now on. It just...
Reuben, my man.
All right.
Oh no.
So the person says, "All right, he's Reuven. What's your name?"
Faye.
Faye, you're
Hephaestus,
Faye.
technically, but nobody ever-
Hephaestus. All right, I'm gonna call you Heffy. All right, so Heffy, Heffy and Reuven. All right,
Sure.
get the other two in a minute. Okay. All right, so Heffy, so you're coming in here with these plans,
Mhm,
okay,
mhm,
and you're offering to make this.
mhm.
All right.
Correct.
All right. What do you know about this place?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Nobody told you anything.
Nope, other than if we're traveling and need a place to stay short term, this might be the place.
All right. Yeah. That's certainly one way to think about it. All right.
How should we think about it?
Well, there's a price to stay here.
Sure. I thought that's what we were negotiating.
That's generally how accommodations
But
work.
it's not conventional.
Okay.
Well, I guess maybe not be what you think. So it's called the Jax Haven for a reason. Everyone
Reuben
here
just hands like a pile of money in his hand. So you're saying this isn't good?
He says, "Well, I mean, look, we like shins just like anybody else, okay? But help me out, guys." And then the crowd, in unison, that has been kind of watching this exchange, says, "We like tricks better."
Reuben starts singing because obviously a performance is like a trick, right?
Yes, fantastic. And somebody gets up from the back and starts singing with you.
Okay.
And looking you in the face.
Reuben sings a song, and that
Mhm.
song is "I've been through the desert with a dog named Good Boy."
Yep.
I've had that one in my head since the break. I'm just waiting for the right opportunity to say it.
Nice.
The fact that I got to say it in character is even better.
Even better.
I think I would start doing like, you want tricks?
Yes.
I can do tricks.
Take a card, any card.
Yes, we're gonna do card tricks.
Oh, you doing card tricks? Okay, somebody comes up to watch.
Gonna have them draw a card.
Okay. Fantastic. They draw a
Then
card.
I'm gonna read their mind and see what the card does and tell them.
Oh.
It is the easiest card. It's like I'm put my hands back, draw a card. Ace of spades.
Confirm something for me. Is telepathy surreptitious? I can't remember if it had that writer.
Mind reading is a separate thing.
Okay, gotcha.
It's more
Cool.
expensive. It lets me
Mhm.
read the surface thoughts of a creature, even if they don't want you to.
Fantastic. Excellent. It is surreptitious. Wonderful. I just didn't remember if that was described that way.
Yeah, it says it doesn't say anything about them knowing you're doing it.
Wonderful. Yeah, perfect. We're riding with they don't know then. Excellent. All right. So to make it clear what's happening, this is what goes on. So Reuven sings an awesome song. Vet is doing some card tricks. Blaze, I'm not going to dictate what Blaze does, but I'll say initially is looking, stoic and imposing, right? And then the bartender, who leans back to Faye and says, "My name's Borch." So this is the way it works, you newcomers, all right? We like tricks here at Jax Haven. Why? Because Jax use tricks, okay? You do a trick somebody hasn't seen before, they're sufficiently impressed, they will pay for you.
Okay.
That's the way it works. We're all here, see who comes in, all right? Also, person with the best trick of the night, they run the bar.
Run?
Yeah.
Like, your job?
Uh-huh.
What was your trick?
Wouldn't you like to know?
If I do the best trick, I have to do labor?
I think you might get
No.
paid.
No. Bort says, no, Reuven, no, you get... Look, and we'll assume this happens at the end of you singing the song.
Yeah.
And the guy who was singing with you,
Mhm.
it seems really enthusiastic and like patted you on the back. And I totally get the Chris, you're playing into Reuven's social cues.
Yeah.
Borch says, Reuven, no. Joe right there, he's gonna pay for you to drink because he liked your song.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, like that's how it works at the Jax Haven.
Right.
You got a good trick, somebody pays for you. They didn't tell you this?
Nope.
Well, all right.
Didn't we just talk about this?
But not before we came here.
Hold on. Was the explanation of how the bar works out of character
No.
Yeah.
or in character?
That was out of character, and then in
Oh.
character.
Okay. I was making sure Reuven didn't have to be confused why they were having this explained twice.
No.
Okay.
I explained out of character, make it simple, right? And then in character to be clear to Faye. Yep.
Got it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh,
Cool.
Excellent. Well, thanks for the duet, my man.
Yeah.
How
And Joe.
long do I have to come up with a trick?
Come up with one?
Yeah, my trick takes a little bit of setup. Like an hour.
You're saying that your trick in an hour you're gonna show it.
Yeah, I won't drink or anything until then. I'll just get it set up.
It better be a damn good trick.
Pretty good.
All right.
Can I pick a table and just set up?
Yeah.
Cool.
Choose any of them.
All
and
right.
then you go to people will clear out because they want to watch. And Borch turns to Blaze. Says, you got a trick?
The oneness, so fluid, effortless, dangerous. Even without the blade, they could kill. They would kill. Not wanton massacres, but justice, and not in the poetic sense. Though people for millennia have crafted songs and stories describing their path among mere mortals under the Tree of Life, they are mysterious. Their soul resonates, as bright as the sun's heartbeat. Wars have ended by their presence. It has been said that fear cringes from their shadow. They hold death in their pocket, yet give it as a gift to their enemies, a present to end their future. If this could happen without a weapon, what hope do you have when the sword is unleashed? And then just kind of fists on his hips.
Porch nods slowly, uncrosses his arms, leans on the counter, and says, "That is a pretty good trick." Does that poem have a name?
None that my order has ever found.
Can I give it a name for this context?
You may call it what you will.
I think I'll call it Justice is a Trick.
Plays nods.
Thank you. Right, so he then attends to everybody, getting them whatever you all want to drink. And except for Faye. Faye needs an hour. And Borch would definitely engage Blaze in more conversation after serving that responsibility. You all have some time if you want to chat with people or continue role-playing.
I spent enough int points to have 3 people.
Ooh.
So I'm just fully doing the street magician thing with my small crowd of folks. I am dazzling this table in the corner.
Fantastic.
Meanwhile, my little creature is just like hanging out on my shoulder, also being really cute.
Yeah, that's awesome. Totally. They are mesmerized by your ability to do this. They love the trash griffin, and they are eager to buy you drinks, ply you with drinks, because they want to know how you're doing this trick.
I'm tempted to offer them the puzzle box.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
Because I've already gotten from it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think, like, after hanging out and drinking with them for a bit in the night, and they really want to know how I did it.
Yes.
I'll fish that out of my pocket and hand it to them.
Oh, my God. Oh. So, you just, like, release it in their care? Are you relinquishing it to others? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass it on. Let it,
Oh, man.
cause a little chaos, maybe?
Yeah, it's definitely going to cause some chaos. Yeah, I'll handle that. Oh, geez.
Don't you love it as a storyteller?
You need to
when your
make
player
sure
gives
you solve this correctly.
Yeah.
Because if you solve it wrong, there's this guy with a bunch of pins.
Yeah.
You're going to have a bad time.
It's not going to be fun.
You're going to have a bad time.
As a storyteller, I always love it when my players hand me a giant freaking mallet. It just says, start swinging.
The city's going to get real dusty.
Yeah.
What was that?
There's a fly that really likes my camera.
I see.
Yeah, I guess we're waiting on Faye's trick.
If you like, sure, we can. I was just giving you an opportunity if you wanted to do other chatting, like Vet did beforehand, but we can totally go to Face Trick.
I don't know if we necessarily get into the detail, but Blaze is totally good talking about his order and what they do and what they believe and stuff. The spreading the word of what they do is sort of how they get more people.
Yeah.
So he's always willing to talk about it if people are interested.
Oh yeah, you'll definitely get people.
Reuben, make
Right.
sure that Good Boy has a chance to speak
Ooh.
so that
That's a
he
good
gets
trick.
to drink too.
Oh
'Cause
yes.
That's a really good trick.
That is a really good trick. People are upset that you didn't lead with that.
Yeah.
They think you're making the dog speak.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they ask you.
I don't need more drinks. I've already got drinks. The dog needs a drink.
The dog does not need drinks.
I mean, like a bowl of water.
Oh, that's fine.
Good Boy opens his mouth and says, Good Boy drinks.
Good Boy drinks. It's a bowl of water with a little splash of ale in it. Make it
All
taste good.
Yeah. He likes it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, if nothing else is happening in that hour, Faye's trick then goes off. What happened? Tell me. What's going on?
Faye walks back up to the bar, sets down a cube.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. We got a cube here.
Presses a button at the top of it,
Mhm.
and it
Yeah.
unfurls into a 2-foot tall humanoid automaton.
What?
Hey, bot, make me a drink. And the little bot just kind of totters off to make him a drink.
Is it taking the alcohol from the bar?
Yes.
Borch does not stand in the way of the bot in the box making the drink. That's a good trick.
Hey, bot, make Borch a drink. Bot.
As the
Totters
bot know
off.
what I want.
Oh, what do you want,
Yeah.
Borch?
Blaze just kind of a robot is making you a drink all on its own. Does it really matter?
Ooh.
Thank you, Blaze. One of the few signs of Blaze actually appreciating technology. Oh, he makes drinks. This one's allowed.
It does not. I will
full,
take whatever the bot will make for me.
for full clarity, just
Yes.
that way Ralph knows, I have spent 1 XP to use a right intrusion to make a temperamental cipher of my choosing instead of rolling. So I have
Cool.
picked the instant servant. So instead of
Great.
just getting a random one, it's this. Technically, it's D6 minus 2, so it lasts for a couple hours.
Cool.
But yeah, Toddler's away. And
That's awesome.
yeah, and notably, Faye has seemed to have done this without anything other than scrap and his tools
Whoa.
out of his pack, because it doesn't cost him iota or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. Let me ask you a question. I heard you say temperamental. Did you mean temporary, or are we also getting a bot that is unruly after making the drinks? Because that's what I want it to be. That's what I was hoping you meant.
No, technically, the temperamental cipher means it works for me and nobody but me. I can't
that's
pass
right.
it off to
Cool.
somebody else to use whatever I come up with. So if I roll and get some cool little like punchy gizmo, I can't hand it off to Blaze.
Fair enough. Makes sense. Thanks for defining that for us all.
Yep.
Because otherwise that bot was going to go kicking people in the shin.
Right. No, he follows my orders. So, yep.
I
And
really
so
wanted it to be a sassy bot that would make you the drink
Yes.
it wants to make.
Yes.
I don't think
You're
Faye
know-it-all
has-
bartender.
Right. I understand where that was going, but it was just like, no, I think for this, like, because the last thing Faye needs is, hey guys, check out my trick. Oh no, it's talking back to me.
Yeah, I'm with you. Makes sense. Yeah, that works. So you all get drinks for free, and they actually like the tricks you provided so much that you are able to stay there for free that night.
Good
Nice.
stuff.
Yeah.
Just for the record, Blaze is surreptitiously passing his drinks to Faye.
Cool.
So Faye does not need any drinks. We do not need a drunk mad scientist.
Come on now. Come on now. Everybody get drunk.
Have a great time.
You can give him the good boy. See what happens. Pour
Yeah,
him in the bowl. He'll drink them.
Blaze is not giving drinks to a dog.
He's a big dog.
But yeah, actually, hang on. How long does this thing last? Oh yeah, cool. So yeah, after he's done that one and we're hanging out at the bar and drinking, he's gonna make another one. But this
Cool.
this time I'm actually just gonna roll because I can
See what
have
happens.
up to is this here? As long as I'm carrying fewer ciphers than my limit. So because I have that empty slot still.
No, go over the limit. You know what happens. Good times.
I can't with this, Ralph. It literally
Yeah, I know.
prevents.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see here. Where is cipher list? All right.
I wouldn't force anybody to get stuck with a quantum singularity. Just want to see it happen.
11. Oh, okay. Handy. Data sphere siphon. I don't know what that is.
Did you say a data sphere siphon?
Yep.
That's a big shit.
Doesn't that
Sounds
sound like what I
impressive.
described? You might might want to get at some point.
Yep. So
You just created on the fly an oracle.
Yeah, like I think Faye like completes, and it's sparking a little bit and it's, a little rough shot. And he looks up at Blaze and goes, "Yeah, I told you I'm awesome." And like just casually pockets it. That basically does come up as level 2 because it's D6 minus 2. So I get one question.
Yep.
But just stashed, leans back, sips a drink, and like stares down Blaze. It's like, yeah, I can do that.
All right. So this is a situation. You've all come to Jax Haven. You found out that Borch is in charge because of the best trick. Finds out, or it might be the case that one of you is responsible for managing the bar tomorrow, considering how good the tricks were. But the current situation is you don't have to pay. You get drinks all night for free. You have the 8 hours you need in order to look at the arm. You also have the opportunity to talk to people if you want. You want to ask questions about Syrio or just, gapping with people. It's entirely up to you, but just make sure I remind you of what the circumstances are.
Yeah, I think Reuven is trying to. I mean, the idea was to buy time for Reuven to look at the arm. So I think that's what they're going to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Makes sense.
So if other people want to do interesting things in the city first, I'm cool with that.
The arm is the interesting thing for Faye, so he'll probably be alongside you. Even if he's being told to sit on his hands and not touch it.
I mean, I don't think Reuven can really like do that until like at least they have lodgings and things.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not going to break out the arm at the middle of the table.
Oh yeah.
Watching for tricks and things. So, I think they'll like all these very gregarious trickster folks. Like they're very out of their element, but they'll just be like, "So what is? Why?
Why is it like this?
Why is it like this?"
At first they say, "What do you mean?" Right, But then when you elaborate on tricks and stuff, they say, it's a tradition.
Okay.
We used to... And then somebody takes a deep breath and say, what do you know about the town? What do you know about our history?
Nothing.
Oh. Have you heard of the Mirthless Mines? They're mines over yonder. He makes a motion and it's like, what are you? We used to mine Tronic Amber. and the mines there amplify certain sounds so that they echo constantly. And no one could laugh in the mines, and so no one laughed in Syrio. And then Hakon came. And he employs people and made it so that we didn't have to work in the mines anymore.
Hakon a big like hero figure in town?
He looks at you when you say that and you say, hero? Yeah, I guess you could say that, but heroes usually don't continue to walk among you and make sure your city has power and
Or like a father
care
figure,
for people.
maybe. Or...
So you're saying he's got a lot of allies in town? And Blaze just sort of glares at Faye.
Why are you glaring at me?
He says, I mean, people are people, right? People got their feelings, but Hakon does well by us. He gives us the power so we can keep the dust away. He made it so that we can do other things here. I mean, you hear how everybody's laughing, but no one laughed in Syrio until Hakon came. So why is it this? Jax used to be criticized in this town because, come on, it's not practical to do tricks all the time when you have to mine constantly and you always want to laugh. So we all delight in it. And it kind of spilled out everywhere else.
Sure.
So I guess, in truth, Aeon brought the first great trick.
Yeah, with that in mind, you know what? I think I'm gonna go to bed early. It's a lot of travel, a lot of walking did today. Gonna just...
Yeah, I'm just buddying up with my folks at my table that I've been playing cards with.
Heck yeah.
I
That's
want
what I'm
to
talking
ask
about.
the Aeon Priest. I forgot her name.
Ooh. Elkanah?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
kind of want to drop that name
Mm-hmm.
and see if I get any reaction from anyone around.
You get some kind of like, if we're describing it collectively, right? The impression you get is that some people might have heard the name before. They don't know specifically. Just that it sounds like somebody who was around here, and sounds like an Aeon Priest that came to Syrio at some point, maybe. Aren't that certain?
We have her dog. So,
Her dog?
I guess.
The dog is friends with her.
Yeah, the dog is looking for her.
Wait, that's not your dog? And they'll like point at Reuven, be like, how did you make it talk? And then of course, somebody will remind that person, the dog talks. It's not, he didn't make the dog talk. They didn't make the dog talk, I mean. Excuse me. So you point that out and they say, I mean, there's this one guy who had a gray dog years ago. He seemed kind of weird. I don't know.
What was his name?
Maybe like Cox and I, and they're like, I think his name was Gus.
Oh no, the storyteller's pulling it all together.
Yep. Do you know where he is?
I say. Yeah, all right. You got to go find him at Gus's Cataract.
Inventive
Cataract?
name.
A
That's where he hangs
waterfall?
out. Yeah, you seen the waterfalls around Syrio? One of them's named for him.
Okay. It might be a
That's
task
where he
for
hangs out.
tomorrow.
They nod when you say that. It's up to you. He's always there.
Yeah, mostly I just want to chat with some folks and then go to sleep because my pulls are looking real low.
Sounds good. Anything else you want to do before you take the time to rest and investigate the arm? I know what I'm going to share with you, Chris. Just trying to give other people an opportunity before you move through it, as you suggested.
I'm good.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So, Reuven gets sufficient time to inspect the arm and is naturally patient with the arm, as nanos are. And as Reuven knows from traveling through the desert and doing things that are challenging, you got to pace yourself and be very careful, right? So Reuven is able to use the Tronic Amber here and there to see what it does. So these are the functions that you notice in the arm. Okay. You notice that the arm has increased strength and agility, right? It seems like it does that. You can think of this as like increasing the might or speed edge for the wearer, the possessor, maybe, right? As like stuff, conventional stuff like this, right? Like physical enhancement. Okay. It has a locator beacon in it, and you think that with some sufficient device, I mean, it might be something that is available in town. It might be something you have in your sheet that I just haven't, looked at your sheet. You might be able to reverse the beacon it's sending out to try and determine, if it's, because it seems like it's a two-way connection that's happening with this particular arm. So that, based on your knowledge of how technology works in the Numenera, you surmise is the means by which they were locating you. So if you so chose, you could probably disable this beacon. You could probably do it safely, too, that it wouldn't damage it, so you could turn it back on if you needed to.
Sure.
Also, when you put the Tronic Amber in it, it enhances those functions. So the beacon goes farther. The physical enhancement is more intense. Also, it seems to have some kind of peculiar... God, how to make sense of this to you? Oh, I know how to make sense of this. It seems to have some distinct magnetic resonance. So, to narratively summarize the various ways you might approach it as a nano, you know that there are devices that you can use to determine the position of celestial objects without looking at them. If you want to orient on them somehow, you can. And some of these things can do that. It looks like this. Think of it like a compass. Like a sidereal compass. Or a
Pointing to
stellar
what?
compass. What'd you say? Go ahead. What?
Pointing to what?
Exactly. Yeah, pointing to what?
Yeah, I'd like
You
to
can't
turn
tell
the
if
beacon
something
off.
is detecting that, but it does have that resonance that points to something. So go ahead. Sorry.
I'd like to turn the beacon off.
Cool. You do. You succeed.
Okay.
That's trivial for you, especially
then-
considering the time you have.
And then I guess if there's some rolls or something I need to make to understand what it might be magnetized to or headed toward, or
No, you succeeded so well before. You know that it is the resonance allows it to home in on something in the sky in a particular position.
that is up.
Yes, that is up, indeed.
Okay.
Yep. And like I said, you have seen devices that have this kind of function, and astronomers use them. Ninth world astronomers of one kind or another use them.
Okay.
Yep.
I have an idea for like when we're back together. If you're explaining all this to
we
us,
can be, yeah.
yeah. The amber boosts it.
Mhm.
We have a lot of amber.
Yep.
Still don't know how to get up.
I can make
Well-
float stone.
But that's just what the dog said.
Yes. Bring it in,
Yes.
Blaze. This is what I'm talking about.
It is just a dog.
The arm points to something in the sky, Blaze.
I mean,
I'm sorry, I missed that part. So the dog was right.
yes.
Yes.
Or it's a really, really weird coincidence.
Probably that one.
I love you, Craig, so much. Blaze has put his foot down. The dog is ridiculous, and that is the only fact.
So we're really thinking about going into the sky.
We don't have to go into the sky. We have to follow it in the direction it's pointing.
For all we know, there's a
navigate by the
beanstalk hanging
sun.
down.
We can navigate by the sun. We're just navigating by something else.
Yesterday, I was worried about pickpockets.
You can still be worried about pickpockets.
You probably should be.
Yeah,
Pointed
honestly,
glance at Vet.
At least one of them pickpocketed somebody as their trick last night.
That's quite true. Somebody stole someone's underpants.
While still being worn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good trick.
Yes, right.
Starts the party off right.
Depends on how forceful it is.
Best trick is to switch them on in the direction, right? You just tell them, hey, your underpants on the wrong way. What? How did you do this?
I can't even process the amount of fuckery going on right here. Well, wherever Faye goes, I will go. Somebody's got to keep him out of trouble.
It's not that hard to process.
I mean, if you believe the dog, which
Have you not come across a talking animal before?
Does it happen often to you?
Yeah, at least 4 or 5 times I can think of. There was a kangaroo one time. Do you even know what a kangaroo is?
Was that here or was that there?
Oh, that was there. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. You're right.
What's a
That's fair.
kangaroo?
These things. What? Imagine if a rabbit was 6 feet tall and liked to box.
That's a nightmare.
That's
With the
interesting,
teeth?
actually.
What?
Like the
Okay.
big rabbit teeth?
No.
Are they good at the boxing?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're that tall, they probably are.
Yeah. And they jump.
Like,
I mean,
yeah, they're
rabbits,
rabbits.
yes.
The rabbit part was right. They kickboxing, I guess, is probably.
Okay, so just
these
to
Because
real?
that's absolutely how a video game kangaroo would be displayed, right?
Right.
Are they
So
real though?
What?
Somewhere.
Are they real?
Probably. Some when?
So just throwing this out there just to help me like just none of this that has happened in the last 12 hours is normal. Just
What's
consider that as a possibility
Have you've traveled?
extensively.
What do you mean by normal?
This is just a Toad's Day to me, brother.
All right.
So yeah, tomorrow I want to go find Gus.
Okay.
Apparently that guy has a whole waterfall.
Dope.
Sick.
Or he's a pile of bones at the bottom of it.
Or he's this dog.
This is good boy.
No, that's good, boy. Come
This
on, Faye, I
has
thought you
been
were with me.
established.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Question, Ralph.
Yes.
Is it possible to take like an orienting device out of, say, a artificial limb and let it continue working separately from the artificial limb?
In general?
Mm-hmm.
You know what's probably
yeah.
easier, and Reuven was going to suggest
Mm-hmm.
creating a interface point for the arm
Mm.
to give yourself a third arm.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
be able
That's
to
an
use
idea. But
'Cause I don't want you to take it apart. I want you to use it. And obviously, none of us are going to lose an arm to.
have you cleared it with Good Boy? I know, I can't believe the words came out of my mouth either.
I mean, yeah.
And also,
we haven't,
still
we haven't
remember,
said what
it does
has happened.
belong to Hakon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
It
still
is
going to
his
look
arm.
for it, even if
Right.
they don't have the beacon
We'll
working.
bring it back.
Right.
I'm not saying you won't. I'm just in case anyone's forgotten that
Yeah,
fact.
yeah, yeah.
It
But I
is
mean-
this person's actual arm.
Yeah.
Right.
If we could pull the compass out.
I don't want to damage it because I plan on returning it.
I
We
mean,
can
it
return
won't
the arm
be
without the
damaged.
compass. It'll be fine. He just won't have his thing.
I promise. I can, with Ralph's permission, I promise that I can remove this aspect of the arm and the rest of it will remain intact. Promise.
Then we can leave it somewhere that the
It's
hunters
not
can
as
find it.
strong because it won't be interfacing with the extra amber and stuff like that.
We can probably
Well, I mean,
find a way
I
to
can
hook
bring
it
that up to the
Yeah.
to the big Tronic Amber.
Plug it into
Okay.
the orb.
I think this is a firm point for Reuven that they're okay with borrowing this person's arm. They do not want to mess with it.
And just to focus on something I'm a little worried about, we should probably be quick and low profile as we can possibly be.
Mm-hmm.
We are in a city that loves Hakon.
Right.
Yep.
If his folks start asking about us, there's going to be any number of people totally willing to sell us out.
Oh yeah, no,
I mean,
we
which is why I think giving him his arm back is a good idea.
Yeah.
Because then we don't have it. They can find it. He is no longer missing an arm.
and if he complains about the compass part, we'll bring that back.
Oh, when you said beacon, I thought you meant the locator aspect.
No, we're talking about
not
the compass.
the magnetic stellar resonance aspect.
Or is that
'Cause
like
it's not a
in the
compass.
arm?
I was saying like
Okay.
a compass. Like think of it like a compass and orienting a magnetic field,
Mhm.
right? Okay, you want to reproduce its stellar orientation.
Or just remove the whole thing, whichever is easier. Because
Okay.
I have
Hmm.
for me, and this is a little
Yeah.
meta knowledge, but I have Crafter's Eye as one of my ciphers. It
Oh, yeah.
automatically succeeds on any one crafting subtask whose level is equal to or less than the cipher's level. So
And what's the level?
5.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
Cyberarm might be higher than that, but
This is a
there's
complicated piece of Numenera.
right.
But I think I said it was difficulty 6 when Ruben was trying to understand it.
Mhm.
So, yeah, interacting with the arm is difficulty 6. It's much easier to take that out. If you wanted to replicate how that functions, it's difficulty 7.
Right.
Like, you've never made anything like this
Yeah,
before.
I don't have any plans. Right.
Yeah. So you don't have any plans specifically how to do that if you did. However, you do have an asset because Reuven has understood how this arm works and has spent a whole work day going over it.
Mhm.
If Reuven didn't have such detailed knowledge, it'd be a lot harder, right? So yeah, you got 2 options, right? You cannot take out how the arm orients. You can't do that, but you can replicate it.
Okay.
I like that. So it would be a difficulty 6. Could you spend effort on it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With it, this is definitely
And then
not
make
one of
the
the
cipher
few
work?
roles
Yeah.
where you can't spend effort. So.
Now the question.
Oh no, you couldn't effectively lower the task for the sake of the cipher.
Okay,
Because
that's what I was wondering.
when you're spending effort, it's the effective difficulty, not the difficulty beforehand.
The only question then is, in the case of creating something to replicate that, am I going to have to dig up some IO?
Ooh, you have an option. So in order to get it to function, you need a piece of tronic amber.
We have
Okay,
some.
you already do. You already do, right? So if you want to give back the tronic amber, because it is a valuable thing, right? You know it is valuable and stuff like that, right? You can steal Hakon's tronic amber and use that, or you can put that back in the arm, and you can use the big thing that Vet has, and as we already established, you can chip stuff off. We established that both Reuven and Faye were certain that they could safely chip stuff off if they had time, right? Shortly, it would cause a problem because it's energetic,
Mhm.
so you could, hurt yourself. But you can get a sufficient amount off it if you do it slowly and safely. You can, let's see. It's not, because you already have tronic amber. It's not going to cost you iotum in order to power it.
Mhm.
However, in creating the device, you can cobble together some ciphers and make it work temporarily. Because
Sure.
this thing is effectively an artifact. If we can get meta again,
Mhm,
right?
right.
Like, artifact ciphers. This is an artifact. The arm is an artifact. So
Right.
you can get a cipher that you can turn on and it'll function for a certain length of time.
Mhm.
Or you can somehow get an artifact to function that way.
And yeah, I'm fine with temperamental cipher. Actually, quite literally, if we want to use that.
Yeah, it's totally
Idea.
okay with me. Yeah, that seems sufficient. So yeah,
Okay.
as long as you succeed on that task, you will then, let's say, create plans for yourself to produce a temperamental cipher that you can power with tronic amber and replicate the magnetic resonance of the arm.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I was like, I don't want to dump a bunch of IO into like a short-term story thing, right? Especially
Yeah,
since
I
I know
wouldn't
we
want you
plan
to
to
do
go
that.
farther, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
I
I wouldn't
like
want you
it.
to do that.
So I think that's something that, to condense all that down into the in-character discussion of
Mhm.
Faye going, let me just pull the thing out, and Reuven putting their foot down and saying no. It's like,
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I think I can figure something out if you can convince Vet to give up the tronic amber that she's got.
Will I get it back?
Oh yeah.
Or you're not going to use all of it?
No. It's just a little power switch. We just plug it up.
That's fine. Because
Yeah, it's worth
honestly,
a lot.
I don't know how I'm going to sell this, to be fair. I don't have contacts that can buy this, that can afford it.
I have a lot of uses for it that I may barter later with you about.
That's okay.
Yeah, for right now, yeah. Because I've got a lot of, like, he pulls, like, the straight up, guy on the
Mhm.
street pulls his coat open. It's like, look at all these plans.
Oh yeah.
I have this thing called a surgeon sphere. Do you know how useful that is?
Do you? I'm looking for somebody who can confirm that for me. I don't.
I don't know how useful
No.
it is.
I've never met a surgeon, so
I don't know. It occurred to me that's the name.
Cool. Well, yeah, that goes a very long distance to assuaging Reuven's sort of having felt like backed into a corner.
Mhm.
Sweet. Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah, like I don't want to hold this arm.
No.
I want
No.
to ditch it so someone can find it, and
Yeah, we're gonna put the amber back in it and put it in a conspicuous place.
Cool.
And hope that satisfies
I
them.
mean, those people are in the city at this point.
Mhm.
yeah, they know it's here.
You're
So
right.
They'll find it.
I'd say that, they didn't happen upon you. There was plenty of a
Right.
delay. You went and looked at the arm. Once you figured out how it worked, yeah, you turned off the beacon. They don't know exactly where you are. So,
Okay, so what do I need to roll? I guess it's probably going to be a straight up crafting Numenera roll.
yep.
It was difficulty 7, right?
Yep. But you got an asset because Reuven knew everything about the arm and how it functioned
Cool.
and spent time, I would like to assume, telling you that in
Oh,
some
yeah, for
detail.
sure.
Is that okay? Cool.
Yeah, they're absolutely like, because they don't know the crafting side, but they can tell you everything about how it works. So they're just like, all right, what do you need to know? I will info dump everything at you while you're working.
Awesome.
I have a either box of crafting tools or a box of light tools, whichever you would prefer me to use, which is also an asset, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
Because I have tool aficionado. If a tool provides an asset to a non-combat task, you gain one additional asset when using it.
Awesome.
Oh, the first part of that, and I've forgotten this entire time. If a tool enables non-combat task but doesn't provide an asset, I gain the asset anyways. I was like,
awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be pulling these tools out, all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
So that bumps it from 7. Asset from Reuven makes it to 6. Then 4. Right. Okay.
Yep.
Damn.
That's right, because assets stack. So
And then you've got training and shit.
I am specialized.
So it's a 2.
Yep.
Mhm.
God damn.
do it. You
I
can spend that
told
effort
you.
and make it
Spend your
automatic.
effort to auto succeed.
I'm not even actually before I do anything because we have spent the night, so I am going to
Yes, how
rest and do
do you get-
recovery.
All your pull back when you sleep. No?
No, you get any of the recovery rolls you haven't used.
And then when do those reset?
Those reset after you sleep. So the 10-hour one, the last one, you get all of them back. So say this. So you haven't rolled any of your recovery rolls during the day. If you choose to sleep, you get to roll all of your recovery rolls at once.
Okay.
And then as soon as you wake up, you have 4 recovery rolls again.
So you have to
However,
roll 2.
if you have 2 remaining. However, if you spent 3 during the day and then you sleep, you roll 1 and you get 4 back.
All right, but that does bring me back up.
I think I'm good.
Yep.
There we go.
5,
Fantastic.
6.
Yeah. Also, just clicking the recovery button, I hadn't realized what it was doing. Will automatically use your most your current available one, so it'll default to the one action. Next time you click it, it'll do 10 minutes, etc., etc. So
Awesome.
I was hoping that when I went to the 10 hours, it would roll all of them. But
Yeah.
it just did that 10 hours one.
Yep.
I guess it doesn't automatically. So you do have to.
You have to
move it
click
over.
on it each
Yeah,
time.
you gotta click it each time.
Okay. So with difficulty 4, specialized reduces it down to 2. I then spend 2 effort to make it 0, which means that's a cost of normally 5. I have 2 edge, so it's a cost of 3. So
Hell yeah. Yep, that's right. So
I don't
I'll
even have
remind
to
you
use
again.
my glasses.
That's right. You're the best at this. Come on now. You're right. Of course you're going to get this. And also, if I can just briefly state, this is one of the cool things I think about Cypher System. If you didn't have all that stuff, this would be an impossible task for someone without training.
Pretty goddamn hard, yeah.
Right? Like imagine if you didn't have, you didn't have tools, right? Somehow you were hindered, you were confused about Numenera or something like that. You couldn't possibly do this. Yet you can have somebody who's skilled and is prepared and can work really hard, and they can do it automatically. And I think that the fact that there is that gradient you can observe and that you can modulate on the fly is a really fun thing about the system. So, and another thing I wanted to point out, I was happy when Chris enthusiastically said that choosing to roll is a win-win.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could have something interesting happen with the GM intrusion if you get a 1, even if you're going to automatically seed, or you can get a 19 or 20 if you want to try for a major or minor effect. It's entirely up to you. You don't have to do it though, Drew. Just pointing it out. You
for this one, I'm just gonna, and especially we're right here at the end. I like the idea of like sitting down for how long would it take? Probably the day
to make it. Yeah, yeah. Considering you haven't done it before, yeah, this is a complicated piece of Numenera. It's going to take you a while.
Is somebody else handling? Well, no, because I need the arm there. So yeah, okay, never mind. I was going to say, while we're doing this, is somebody returning the arm? But no, not yet. Okay. Yeah, does a little side by side test to the arm and this basically conglomeration of gizmos on top of a big orbitronic amber. It's like, do they point in the same direction?
Well, if you turn it on, right, you kind of like activate that function.
Mm-hmm.
Good Boy's ears perk up, and he walks over to it, and he sniffs it, and he says, "I'm like arm."
Yep. So we can give the arm back.
No steal arm.
You stole the arm. So we're going to give the arm back, and this is yours while we look for Elkanah. Well, I got to hang on to it, though, because I'm the only one who knows how to work it.
He looks at you kind of confused. Then he looks at Reuven.
Yeah, I was going to say, Faye looks to Reuven.
He steal arm?
No.
We gotta give it up. We gotta give it back.
Hum is new arm.
Hum is new
help.
Arm? Hum no arm.
Better.
Is better help.
Hum help?
Hum help.
Oh, yeah. Here. And pulls out the little tronic amber out of the arm.
Uh-huh.
Small help. Holds up the big sphere of tronic amber. Big help.
Big help.
Big help. Faye is like, what the fuck? Thank God Blaze isn't here to see me right now. Somewhere Blaze is watching disappointed.
The dog wags his tail and sits down.
Cool.
Can I sort of reverse sneak this arm into like the bar we were in last night and just leave it at a table?
Oh, you want to leave it in Jax Haven?
I want to leave it somewhere where it will be found by people who know what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Or alternately, actually, when we leave. Well, no, then it would be in our room. I don't like that.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean we've been seen with
I have
it.
a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Phrase it as a trick.
Yeah.
Is that the trick is we're going to leave this here, and someone very shortly after is going to want to come find it. And the trick is we're not going to get caught with it.
Oh, can you turn the beacon back on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I was
you going to
gonna
say
try
that
to
to
use
people
my
as the
own.
trick? Or are you saying that within the group?
Oh, I think
the group.
That's hilarious.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I was going to just like go, I guess, like have breakfast or whatever at the table, and then as we leave, the arm is left there and we're gone.
Oh,
Because we're not going to get killed.
Um,
You leave it in the. I was going to say you leave it in like the umbrella stand, but there's no. We're underground and there's no dust, so
That's right.
because I'm trained in trickery and in sneaking.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Oh, they have a beacon. We can hide it somewhere in the bar. We don't have to leave it where the Jax could find it. We can leave it
That's
for
exactly
the constables to come find it.
That's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
I figured the Jax would recognize it. They all know Hakon.
So you're just going to put it somewhere where people can't see it?
my concern is that if the Jacks don't know it's there, they could get in trouble or hurt.
It's a possibility.
And so, like,
Yeah. I feel like
literally,
Hakon's
like,
arm
leaving it with
appearing
the
at the dinner
bartender.
table.
like literally leaving it with the bartender. Like, can you hold on to this until someone comes? They will be the rightful owners.
You want to just hand it to the bartender?
That's what Reuven would do, right? So that's
For Faye, his whole thing is, I don't get to keep the arm, I don't get to pull it apart. Let's just leave it for Hakon.
Reuven does say, whatever we do, you have to say, I hope you'll give me a hand with something.
Yeah.
If you want to say that as you hand it over to the bartender.
Okay, I will do the same.
I got an arm full of problems. Can you give me a hand?
Hide it in the armor stand.
No, I'll tell you one better. You look off to the side. There's an ornate wood armoire.
Boo.
Yeah, it's good. I laughed. That's all that matters.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So yes, any of that stuff works. You have a choice of if you want to hide it in a place, but yes, I agree. They would probably result in some problems because the Jax would be excited. People come in, you know how they work. They're not going to be like, yes, it's there. They're going to be like, no, this is going to be a lying. There's a problem. You don't want to cause that, right?
Right.
They also recognize Hakon's constables, so it's going to be a weird interaction probably.
Right.
If you leave it with the bartender, Borch would be like, how did you get this arm? Because Borch would recognize it as Hakon.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
Yeah, Borch would recognize it. So
We're going to be
Was it-
completely honest. The dog took it.
Oh.
The constables will tell you the dog took it.
It's a good trick.
Did they know anything about you?
They may have seen us.
We're just trying to help the dog.
Beware of the questions you're starting to ask. You may not like the answers.
Retinum?
No, he's got a point.
I learned the ways of this one last night.
Yeah.
He says, well, I was going to obligate you all to share in the burden of running this place today because your tricks were the best. But I can see that would be bad for everyone involved. So
We will have to regretfully decline that honor. Sometime in the
Then-
future, we come back with better tricks. Mayhap we will earn it again.
How about this? And
Look
he
at that,
says,
Reuven learning something.
yeah. He points at you and he says, we're going to do a trick here that might impress you. And he looks at the bar, or he looks at everyone there, and it's early in the morning, so there's not as many people there. It's like 10 or 15, right? So scattered. So he says, Jax, and they all turn. It's less unified than it was
Mhm.
before, which might give you the impression that there's some kind of drinking and people are organized and evening thing. Anyway, they say yes. He says, we haven't seen these fellas. And they say, we haven't seen these fellas.
Excellent.
Borch reaches out the fist bump Blaze.
Takes a moment for Blaze to realize what's going on. And then,
Right. Is this a challenge? No.
Slow motion punch? What?
yeah. And then, like, just sort of holds his fist up.
Halfway, yeah.
Yeah.
And he taps you in anime style. You know, instead of the what I'm used to, right? He does that.
Mhm.
Anyway, so you're all able to leave the bar with Borch in possession of the arm. You're reasonably certain that this small number of Jax early in the morning eating breakfast or whatever is going to have relatively little trouble disguising them having seen you. And it's the morning, so you got the resonance device you created. Arm's no longer in your company. Dog seems happy. And should I assume that you're on the way to see Gus?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you can do other things too. So
Probably next week, though.
yeah, totally. I was going to offer. I can describe what you see first, or you can wait till next week if you want.
Blaze has a question like, why are we going to see Gus?
Backstory.
He was one of the miners. He had a big gray dog. When I was asking about Alcana, they mentioned him.
You got to follow the coincidences, Blaze.
But yes, we found Gus carved into the wall. Here is Gus. We have to talk to him.
You're not going to find plot twists by walking in a straight line, my friend.
I don't know. Don't underestimate him.
Okay.
So they told you where Gus's cataract is.
Mhm.
It doesn't take you long to get there, but it's on the outskirts of the platform. And when you walk up in the morning, you see some guy looking at what looks like kind of like a fake, like early morning sunscape off in the distance. Somebody is like mounting it. And he is staring at and over a cataract. There's a plaque on it, and it shows like an image, kind of like a GIF, like a short image or like a live photo of some young boy in a cage getting tossed over a waterfall.
Look.
So, yeah, and by young, he's like a teenager, right? So I don't mean like somebody who's 8, right? It's like 17. It seems like any age in the photo, right? He might be in his early 20s and he's just very youthful appearing, right? Or he could be younger and looks older, but he looks like, he's late teens. And you see this guy kind of like sitting on a pedestal there. There's a resemblance, and he's tossing in his hand a translucent sphere, and it's filled with dust, white dust.
Perhaps ashes.
Yep, could be. That's what you see. So yeah, we can pause there. If you like.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Wonderful. All right. Session 2, that was tons of fun. Y'all are hilarious. Thank you for entertaining me. And I hope everyone out there, you were as equally entertained as I was. So many shenanigans and hijinks. Got a talking dog. We got all kinds of fantasy and novel stuff going on. We'll see how the story progresses and what other things you all suggest and directions for this plot to develop. Go ahead.
Like the fact that Good Boy is a Aeon Priest.
Yes, exactly.
Holding tight to this.
As established by the one trained and knowledgeable about the Aeon Priests, who figured out how the arm worked.
And dogs.
And dogs, exactly. Both dogs and Aeon
most
Priests.
about both of those things.
It's the only thing they know.
We got rid of their name.
And
It's just like priests and dogs.
No.
It's fantastic. So, thank you all for watching. Thanks again, Patreon supporters. Reppin' Cypher System, Monaco Games. Any last words?
That's it.
All right. Stay
Catch you next
curious,
time.
folks. Catch you next time.
Bye.